Hey everybody, great to be here with you all. So excited. Really, really freaking excited. You don't get many days like this, you know. It was funny, my team had in my calendar that I was doing this session in an hour from now. And about 15 minutes ago, I got a text message saying, Chris, sorry, we've screwed up your calendar. It's actually in 10 minutes. Are you ready? I'm like, I've been ready for like 3 hours. like, and I was just talking to Bobby, who's on here. He's a one-on-one coaching client of mine, and he actually had a session booked, and I would have been on the session with him now, and he magically moved. I don't even know the reason why. I'm sure he had some business or family stuff or something to do, and so he's moved it, and it means that I could be here at the right time, and I didn't have to upset his day. So anyway, isn't that funny? I was sitting there. My team member Esther, she texts me like, "We've screwed up your calendar. It's in 15 minutes. Are you ready?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm totally ready." I'm sitting here, iron shirt, got my collar, ready to go. Like I am so ready. Yeah, isn't that funny? I think that's funny to me anyway. It makes me laugh. So I'm so excited to be here with all of you. Can I ask how many of you have already gone and grabbed your copy of our book? Who has already done it? Yeah, I've got a physical one here. I got one that has a couple spelling errors in it. So this one's special. I'll auction it off and see if you can find the spelling errors. So what I want everyone to do is please go and get your copy of this. We're asking for some seriously huge money, okay? Like we're going to make so much of this. It's $2.99, which just happens to be the lowest that we can possibly do on Amazon. And that just covers their costs, I think. So if you would like to get it, would you please just take just a minute right now and go and grab the copy of the book? Would that be all right? Just before we get in, I'm going to cover lots of awesome stuff. We're going to drop the link to Australia and everything in the chat right now. But I'd love you to go and do that. Support these amazing authors. I'm going to talk about all of the authors today. And I'd love you to go get it. So we've got the book on Amazon right now. This is the launch. It's available. Superconscious Transformation. It's a phenomenal book. So could everyone do that for me? Would you do that? Would you jump on Amazon? Would you buy it? We really want to hit bestseller on Amazon for myself, but also it's available in all countries. You just got to go to Amazon. And you'll be able to buy it. You can get it as an ebook for $2.99. And we would so love your support. Not only will that be a great decision for you and your family to get the book, but it's also going to support these authors who have really poured their hearts into their chapter, and the knowledge is phenomenal. So can I get a round of yeses? Is that okay? Everyone goes and buys a book, gets their partner to buy a book on another account. Go support this amazing this amazing creation. I would really appreciate it. And then we're going to get right into talking about the content of the book, why it's so important, why it's needed at this time in human history. And we're going to do a recode and have some fun today. Thanks for those of you who have bought it. You're legends. Thank you. Thank you in advance. It's been a labor of love for this book, actually. A love of, my team plus all of the amazing authors have really birthed something I think is really incredible. And what I love about this is the idea to do this book was I've always said that this isn't my work, that this is our work. Who's heard me say that before? I said, it's not my work, this is our work. Yet, even though I said that, it felt like even after 8 years of saying that, it was still built around Chris, and everyone thought Chris is the only one that understands it. And it's been very difficult to now showcase others. And so I came up with this idea with some help of an amazing lady named Fiona, and big shout outs to her. And so we had this conversation with her and myself and Cookie, and we thought, how can we help other people step up, get in the spotlight, and share their journey of superconscious transformation. And thanks everyone for typing in that they've got their book. You legends, keep it coming. I want to hear about it. We want to know when you've got it, when you've got the book. And so the idea was, can I help transform the world even more by showing that it's not just me that's applied this work? Right? Some of you are saying you're waiting for the physical. Do us a favor and get the ebook, even if it just feels like a donation. It's going to help us get the message out, so that that we can get the message out and it can get on. Because the more of us that go in and grab the book, the higher it will rank on Amazon. And you all know I've put it to $2.99. So I'm not trying to make profit off this. I'm just wanting to get the message out and help showcase these authors. Yeah. And so the physical will come, hey, it will. But right now, we'd love you to get it. So I'd so love for you all to go and grab the ebook. And the reason is if you all go do it now, we're going to shoot up the charts and Amazon's going to start paying attention to us. And so we want to have a groundswell. So it's really cool. We will be producing an audio book and we will be doing all sorts of things, but right now the ebook's available. And so the idea was this, and I think it's a good idea, is the idea that it's not just me. The idea is that it's everybody else contribution to this. And they are able to prove and show that the transformation, the superconscious work is something that I guess we've all been able to apply and change our life. And so thank you so much for going and grabbing the book. Let's get into some amazing content. But could everyone go click and grab it? If you haven't got it, go get it. And I'm going to keep asking because we want it all to be done within this hour, if possible, because it creates such an awesome movement. So is there anybody here that's brand new to our work or the superconscious method or the superconscious work? Is there anyone that's, that's new? Thanks, Annie. Thank you. If you're new, I want to introduce you to some amazing concepts, if that's okay. But before I do go into some of those amazing concepts, can I talk about some of the key concepts that are in the book? Okay, and some of the amazing authors that we have. So the chapter starts out, the book starts out with my chapter, okay? And I'm going to cover some of my chapter today as well. But my chapter is about how your reality is created from your identity, okay? Your reality is created from your identity. Does that make sense? Like, that's the key. Thanks, Omar. Good on you. You're a legend. And by the way, we've actually got a bunch of other books, collab books that are coming out as well, which is so cool. So in my chapter, I discuss this idea that your identity is directly connected to your reality. And that's really important. Transformation happens when you step into a new identity, and you can have quantum shifts. And it's really interesting when you read my chapter. Thanks everyone buying it. You're legends. Is when you read my first chapter, you'll see that to transform superconsciously, it starts with asking the question, what is it that you want to create, and stepping into a completely new identity. So after that, we go into Lana Hempsel's chapter. Now, what I loved about her chapter, and what you're going to get a lot out of it, is that fear of rejection is a core human wound. And many of us, and her story is fantastic around this, is we put the fear of rejection and to avoid rejection above what it is that we're really trying to create. We would rather not be rejected than be successful. You're going to love that chapter, okay? And Lana's amazing, and I've worked with her for many years. We're going to Africa together. And she talks about how you can rewrite the fear and unlock authentic self-expression. Really good. Okay, the next chapter from Ross is, again, someone I really care about. I think Ross might even be on this call. And he talks about a very similar understanding that I talk about. And by the way, his story's amazing. I won't spoil it, but the transformation that my friend Ross has had is just next level, you know, on all planes. And he explains again how being stuck typically isn't a strategy issue. We think like being stuck in what we want to create. There's Ross there. He's in the chat box. Really, really loved your chapter. Explaining that when we're there and we think that strategy is what we need. Does that make sense? Like, oh, I need a new strategy. I need to know what to do. Most of us don't realize it's who we are and becoming, and he talks about how to become that. And yeah, anyway, I feel like I'm about to spoil the chapter, so you're going to love Ross's chapter. The next chapter from Azara, or Izzy to me, is to truly understand about how trauma fragments our identity. And wholeness comes from claiming some of our disowned parts. Now, I just want to share with you, every single author has also been on a podcast with me, and the podcasts are amazing. They're short, they're about 15 minutes where they explain the core concepts of their chapter. But anyway, I love what Izzy shares in her chapter, is that trauma fragments our identity. Isn't that, like, to me, that's like, it's such a, you know, in that simple sentence, is we have a trauma and it fragments us, and we create little aspects of our consciousness that that create realities on their own. So anyway, you're going to love Izzy's chat. In fact, one of the things, thanks everyone. We'll keep putting the links in, and keep telling me when you got your copy. All the links work. We have checked them, hey. So do have a look. So the next chapter, and she's on this call, Master Boone. Where is she? I loved our call. I loved your chapter. I loved it. By the way, I read all these chapters and I got so much out of it personally. Okay, Master Boone is absolutely amazing with Feng Shui and our work and knowing how to create. There she is. You're amazing. And so in this chapter, what I really got out of it is that many operate from a survival consciousness, right? It's a survival consciousness where we're just trying to survive, right, and not thrive. Yeah. And you're going to love this chapter. And another point I got from her chapter is true mastery is inner alignment. Now, I want to remind you that every single one of these people that have written a chapter, number one, they've had personal transformation themselves using our work. And then two, they bring their own insights, their own understanding to what we're doing. So you're going to love Master Boone from New Zealand. Well, from originally Australia, but anyway, I love your story. I love your journey as well that you've gone on, and she's holding some amazing wisdom that, you know, from her father, and it's very amazing about how Feng Shui is really, and how we set up our environment. I really hope you enjoy that chapter. The next chapter, Dr. Charles Coppola. You will, this one, another. It's funny, I'm going to keep saying it because there isn't a single chapter that I wasn't like, boom, that is a worthwhile read. It's like 13 books in one, basically. And so I love this, is that, you know, and he comes from obviously a healing background. And he says, health is a reflection of inner harmony, right? Health is a reflection of inner harmony. You can activate, okay, this is so good. You can activate miracle level transformations through the superconscious. Yeah. Yeah. Miracle and true healing starts in the mind. Now, this doctor, Dr. Charles, he has got so many examples, children, himself, others, and just miracle level transformation. Yeah. And gosh, I'm excited. I'm loving the chat box, by the way. So keep it all coming. Team, keep putting the links in. You have to go to the link for your specific country. It's just how Amazon works. Yeah. So that's great. So thank you. Keep listening to me while you go grab the book. Again, we so appreciate you grabbing a copy of the book. Here it is here. And I'm just that excited. So the next person, and I love this lady. I've been to Africa with her. We did the safari in Africa. By the way, at some point you need to come on a safari with myself to Africa. There's something that will just totally transform you going out there to Africa. And this lady at Prajitha, is she on? I wonder if I haven't seen her yet in the chat box. Okay. Is again, when I first met at Brigitte, she was so shy, she hid behind other people. There she is. She hid behind other people and wouldn't even speak to me. Then she came to another event and eventually introduced herself. I was like, oh, yeah, I've seen. And then she did a recode with me in front of the room. And it's just completely, the metaphor of coming out of her shell and being seen and going for it in life and moving countries and it's just awesome to see her growth. And in her chapter, she explains how perfectionism masks a deep unworthiness. Anyone here really resonate with that? Is that perfectionism? I'm trying to be perfect to prove that I'm not this. And her journey really helps someone to go from shame to self-acceptance and to step out and be seen. And her superconscious work helped her claim her joy and freedom. And it's such a, for Aprajitha and what she's been able to do and share in this work. I'm so proud of her. And yeah, anyway, it's again another great chapter. The next chapter is from Laura White, and this is again something I think anyone here think that they're a people pleaser. Yeah, Laura talks about how people pleasing is a survival mechanism and not a personality trait. Is Laura White on the call? Yeah, I can't see. I haven't seen her name pop up yet, but Laura, amazing. And she talks about how healing requires shedding the false self and how to use the superconscious to step out of people pleasing and get out there and create. So I'm so excited that you read every single one of these chapters. I don't really know how it all came together. We put it out there and a group of people said, yeah, I want to be in that book. And all the themes have just worked out so well. And so the next chapter, I was speaking with this lady last night. Again, another lady I've had the pleasure of spending 12 days in Africa with on safari is Anka. And Anka is incredible. This lady in her story, so check this out. She got into Princeton University at age 16. At age 16. But get this, she wasn't even able to speak the language. She kept getting English and German confused. Well, English, maybe not German. She kept getting English and something else, Dutch maybe. And I remember reading her story going, what? You were in Princeton at 16 and wait, what? You didn't even really speak the language? Like that to me, that blew my mind. Anyway, Anka's a very high level in corporate leadership and is bringing breathwork and superconscious into changing the world. And so she's worked with some of the biggest, and I'm not allowed to say who she works with and what she's been up to, because the companies are ones that you use every day. And she's been working at CEO level with, Silicon Valley, CEOs and found like really big level. And so Anka talks about how burnout stems from an unconscious need to prove your value, which is something she noticed and saw a lot in herself and her peers at these, because she went to Princeton and then, Wharton Business School. Just so you guys get it if you're over in the States, you know these names, right? Like these are places they don't mess around. And then she gets into the corporate world doing some really big stuff. So she's going to explain to you about how the superconscious recode helped her reclaim feminine energy and inner peace while still being able to be a high achieving person in the business world. And I just love that got added, because there's a lot of other things in the book, and then boom, out of nowhere comes this focus on that high level, business leadership. which is really cool. We're not done yet, by the way. The next chapter is a young man named Jasper who recently just moved over to Thailand, is living his best life. And he talked about how, as a young guy, in his 20s, being able to be somebody that's in a book like this is so life changing, and realizing that the way the world is now and what he's up to and what he's doing would never be allowed unless he wasn't understanding this work. Jasper, I'm wondering if you're on here as well. He talks about how connecting with the superconscious unlocked his authentic power, and living in alignment is trusting your inner truth. It's really cool. So Annie said, I'd love to see all these people present as speakers. And you know what? That's exactly what we did. So could someone drop in my YouTube or Instagram link? Because there is a 15-minute interview that I did with each one of them. And they're phenomenal and they're great. And you can actually go and listen and then read the chapter and listen to the interviews of every single author, because they're all phenomenal, all amazing, and I love them all. I'm so grateful to say that I'm a co-author with these people. So the next chapter is with yeah, they're already out live. Yeah, they're already live. Hubert's just put the link to my YouTube channel, my Instagram, so you can go check them out now. You can listen to them and watch them. It's phenomenal. The next one is Maria Byworth, and this again is a different, and it's so fascinating that every single person came at transformation in a different way. So she talks about, and this is really important, is that you don't have to stay trapped with a survivor identity. A survivor identity. Rosalind said, I've bought it. Where do we get a copy of the other books? This is one book. All of this that I'm talking about is one book. These are the chapters of just one book. Yeah, this isn't multiple books. Yeah, it's a big look. I mean, it's a big book. We do have 3 other books coming out in the series: Superconscious Wellness, Superconscious Parenting, and Superconscious Manifestation. Do I have any authors who are going to be in those? We've already got those. They're in final edits and they'll be coming out in the next month or 2. Do I have any of those authors on here going, I can't wait till we get to, there's Rhonda. Yeah, that's right. Rhonda's one of the authors in the other books. Yeah. There's Dr. Omar. So there's some really cool books coming out with some amazing people. Yeah. There's Diane. Yeah, cool. I think you're in Manifestation, maybe, Diane. Yeah. Anyway, so Maria's was amazing. Now, what she talks about is how forgiveness is a doorway to freedom. Thanks for you. Thanks everyone purchasing the book. Appreciate you. If you haven't yet, we've sent some links. Please go do it. We're number 8 on the bestseller list right now. We are number 8 on the bestseller. So we super appreciate you, and that's freaking great. So if you haven't, I would love you to grab it. If you could share the link out to as many people, we will let anyone purchase it. In fact, actually, that would be amazing if while you're listening to me, you could grab these links and post them out to people and say, hey, go grab this book. It's $2.99. It will change your life. Yeah. And so super appreciate it. We're number 8. And for $2.99, I can't think of a better cause to support than this. And so Maria's chapter was amazing. And she talks about you don't have to stay trapped in a survivor identity. Yeah. And that's amazing. I found myself talking to a lot of people where something bad has happened to them and they're a survivor of that. Does that make sense? They've survived it, but they never let go of it. They're just a survivor of abuse or trauma. And just saying that you don't have to stay trapped in that. You can if you want. There's no rules, but you just don't have to. Yeah. And the last chapter by Karen Myers is so great to really bring it home. And her main point is that you can rewrite even the most painful parts of your story. Yeah. You can rewrite even the most painful parts of your story. and superconscious work gave that ability to her. Yeah. Awesome. So those are the chapters. So who thinks that this is a you can send out all the links. We would appreciate all of them if you want to send them out. Yeah, that'd be fantastic. We would love to share this with as many people as possible. So I wanted just to take the first time here and celebrate all my authors and to celebrate all of you. Who thinks that's a pretty cool book, hey? Yeah. Yeah, it's $2.99. It's the cheapest that the system would let us do it. I remember a few years ago you were able to do 99-cent books, but they just don't let you do that anymore. So we did it as cheap as we could to use that platform to get it out. Yeah. Yeah, no, it's a really good book, hey, and I hope you get it. What I love about this book so much is that each chapter is a book on its own. So you can read one chapter, enjoy that author, you can go have a look at what they're up to, check out their website maybe, but you don't have to read the whole book at once. And so you can read another chapter and you can flick through, go, I really want to just hear from this author. And, and each, in total, what the book's 394 pages long. Like it's a big book. So it's not meant to be read from start to finish. You might read my chapter, then, at Prajitha's, then Anka's, and then Master Boone, and then you might go get Ross's, and you can just enjoy everyone's perspective on one thing, superconscious transformation. So can I share with you a little bit about superconscious transformation, what it is and why it's so important? Does that sound good? Yeah. And thank you. Just keep letting us know when you have got the book, just because I love celebrating. And I want to say big thanks to all of you who are getting it and are supporting it, because, really, we put our hearts into this. We really put our hearts into this. We wanted to birth something to prove not just to you, but to the authors that there is an amazing way to create outside of your thoughts and feelings. So I'm going to share a few premises now and go into a bit of training. But while I'm sharing and talking through this, I want to let you know I'm going to send you a replay of this session. And what I would love the most is just if you could share this out and let people know about this book. For the people reading it, they get it super cheap. For the authors, you're helping them to get some more exposure. And also, if you believe in this movement, being somebody that's giving energy to the movement will be fantastic. And so let me share a little bit about superconscious transformation. And let's see if I can get my slides up. Cool, here we go. So this will be some new content for a lot of you. I want to explain how superconscious transformation helps you escape the self-help loop. Now, if you are looking to understand how to access God-like manifesting power, then this book and what I'm about to explain to you is for you. What I want to teach with you is the inner mind process that every single one of these authors have applied to their life, and I have as well, that's allowed me with my other business to sell millions of books and create 2 8-figure businesses. So I'm going to ask you some questions. So what if one of your most cherished assumptions, I really stumbled on that word just then, cherished assumptions was causing more harm than good? What if self-help is actually causing chaos? What if therapy, healing, and development wasn't the answer? I know it sounds crazy, but if you just keep an open mind for 15 minutes, what I'm going to explain to you and what you'll learn in this book can really change your life. So about 20 years ago, I left university ready and eager to go out and find my place in the world. And what I found was not what I thought I was going to find. I actually remember, has anyone done this? I remember doing the math. You should never do this math, by the way, if you want to. And I realized that from 9 a.m. on Monday morning to about 2 p.m. on Wednesday, all of that time at work was just for tax. I was like, right, so I worked just for the government for the first nearly 2/3 of my life. And I don't know if they're spending it the way I want them to be spending it. And so I started to realize, I was like, this isn't really what I want. And then I saw other people who were successful and they had retired, they didn't have to work and were enjoying their life. And I said, I really wanted that. And what I noticed is everybody who had that had a business. So I decided, well, I should start a business too. That makes sense. And then it was a huge struggle. Anyone here gone out to start something new, start a business, and straight away it's a struggle? Thank you for everyone who's gone and get the book. We appreciate you. And so I realized I needed to change. Okay. So I realized my unconscious was working against me, right? There was a part of me working against me. Nothing was easy. The unconscious is a part of you running the body. It's a domain of feelings and emotions, and it's trainable. Okay. It's an ancient part of us. It's designed to keep you alive. It has no other goal. So to stay alive, it decides whatever you have experienced is survivable. So let's not try to create anything else. So anything, no matter how painful or limiting what you've survived was, your unconscious just says, let's get more of that. Whatever you survive, the emotions, the feelings, the beliefs, and the circumstances, no matter what it is, your unconscious says, just give me more of that. Just give me more of that. Even if someone creates something different. Who thinks this is crazy? 75% of people who win the lottery lost it within 3 years. 95% of those people are worse off than when they won it. 70% of people who win the lottery end up broke. And even if they're super talented and they are amazing at American football, 16% of NFL players have filed for bankruptcy. And the minimum contract in the National Basketball Association, the NBA, is $1 million. $1 million. Even the rookies, the top rookies, the first year, they get $7 million a year. And you can go and Google this, but they report that even these sports, these athletes, they actually face serious financial hardship even afterwards. And so you might ask, why does this happen? Well, this is what happens is the unconscious has a pattern. Okay, you're in a pattern, you're in a loop, and it wants to keep everything the same. And this is called the unconscious agenda. And the unconscious agenda learns how life is as a really early age. It's like an accent. Okay, so how many of you think that I have an accent? Type in yes if you do. Nearly everyone in the world thinks I have an accent, even my mother. She always says, where's my Kiwi accent gone? Where's my Kiwi kid accent gone? She's always, oops, I don't know what happened there. She always asks me, where's my cute little boy's accent gone? And so even my mother thinks I don't have the right accent anymore. But anyway, it sounds more like a New Zealand accent than anything else, I think. But it doesn't change much. See, the unconscious learns how to be at an early age. And so other than my mother, everyone thinks I have a New Zealand accent, but she thinks I've traveled too much. And so who here thinks I have a New Zealand accent? Yeah, everyone, maybe some of the Kiwis go, no, you sound a bit American. But our unconscious learns how to be. Thanks, Joshua. Thanks, Bethany. Yeah, thanks. Learns how to be. And so it doesn't want to change that. Okay, it says this works, this survives, so I'm going to keep it that way. So I decided, okay, I want to have this business and I have internal resistance. I need to fix this unconscious. Can I get a round of yeses? How many of you went to start something different and you went, yeah, there's something about me that I need to change or fix or heal? Come on, let's all be honest. It's kind of an unwritten assumption in today's society. If we want something, we should change ourselves. So I tried lots. Let's get a list. What other things did you try? I did NLP, EFT, EDMR, hypnosis, therapies, retreats, coaches, healers, books, seminars, workshops, cassettes, CDs, videos, new diets, new relations, meditation, chanting, breath work, early nights, mornings. What else did you try? What else did you try? We tried so many things, didn't we? Didn't we try so many things? Dispenser workshops, Greg Braden, Lynn McTaggart. You know, we read The Secret. We read, Course in Miracles. We eat, we pray, we love. We tried it all. Let's get the links in for the books for the people that are just coming on in. We try a lot of self-help. Who's tried some self-help? The Emotion Code, yeah. Matrix Energetics, yep. We've tried it all. And so the challenge with the self-help concept is we get caught in a loop. And so we have this, and there's 9 unconscious agendas. We have this unconscious agenda, which is a wound. There's 9 wounds. And some of these wounds are not worthy, or not good enough, not enough. So we have this unconscious wound, and then we have an ideal self that we think if we create this ideal self, then we'll finally be able to go have the life we want. So the 9 unconscious wounds that we try to solve. The first one is, I'm not perfect. A person who believes they're not perfect tries to be perfect. Their life is about, they're very critical of themselves. They try to be a certain way. The next wound is, I'm not worthy. They believe they're not worthy, so they try to help a lot of people in this idea that if they helped a lot of people, then they'd be finally good and worthy to have what they want. The next wound is, I'm not good enough. And they believe that if they're really successful, this ideal, if I'm really successful, well, then I'm good enough. The next person feels that they don't belong. They feel like they're a black sheep. And so they hate rejection, and they're trying to create belonging. They're trying to create their place in the world. They're trying to create identity and individuality. How do I be unique? How do I be special? How do I find my place? The next wound is they believe they're not capable. And so they don't think they're capable. So they try to become really capable. This person learns and learns and learns and has certificates and degrees everywhere. They're trying to become capable. The next person believes they're not safe, and they need to follow something. They need an authority. I'm not safe. Who do I follow? If I could just find the right person to follow, the right place to be, then I'd be safe. The next person is never allowed negative feelings. Life has to be happy and joyful all the time. So they're not allowed to be negative. The ideal self is super happy, super positive, full of enthusiasm. The last two is they believe they're powerless, and they're trying to be powerful. And the last ones, they believe that they're nobody and not allowed goals, and they're trying to create peace. So there's these 9 wounds, and what happens is as we try to escape the wound and create an ideal self, since this is the truth of the unconscious, it always pulls you back. And so as much as you try to change and become perfect or good enough or worthy or healed, you're never free of it, because the more that you try to escape it, the more you are separate from how you've created safety, and it pulls you back. This is why the person goes to Joe Dispenza, then Greg Braden, then Lynn McTaggart, then hypnosis, then this, and then this, and then this. Every time it feels like they're going to do something, they're going to change, and every time they're pulled back to their unconscious wound, because this is what orients them in life. Think about it this way. If you want to not be in New York, you want to not live in New York, what's the one thing that must exist? New York. Because you need to know when you're in it, so you know to get out of it. And so that's how it works. This one thing you're not allowed to experience always has to be there. So what happens is typically a person lives right here. I'm going to put CR for their current reality. And they live somewhere between their ideal self and the unconscious wound. They never feel completely not enough or not worthy or not perfect, but they never feel like they are there yet. Let me say that again. They never feel completely hopeless and like everything's going wrong, but they never feel like they're there. Can I get a round of yeses? Who knows this? Who knows this reality? Because this is what I did. I bounced and bounced and kept going for the next course and the next course and the next course. And that's why this book is so important, because these people who have written these chapters, they understand this and they've been able to step out of it and escape that self-help loop. My life changed when I met a billionaire, and he explained to me the missing piece. He said, Chris, your self-help addiction is broken, not you. He said personal development and self-help does more harm than good because it creates an identity of someone who needs to be fixed, rather than an identity of somebody who is able to create magically. He said, Chris, you must be it to see it. You are consciousness creating everything, and you're currently teaching your consciousness that you're not it. And so when I work with people who want to create more money than they've ever had before, and I help people create staggering amounts of wealth and abundance and health and new relationships, the first thing I have to get them out of is this, is you're not broken. Someone type it in. You or I am not broken. I'm not. You don't need to be fixed. Only that something that needs to be fixed, improved, or healed, it has to be broken. You see that? Why would you fix, heal, or improve something that's not broken? So he says to me, Chris, you're not broken. You don't need to be fixed. You don't need to be healed. You don't need to be therapied. He said, you are a quantum conscious creator having a human experience. He said, you're a walking piece of hydrogen, man. Like, what do you mean you need to try to fix or heal? You're fine. You're absolutely, you can create your future. I'm going to show you how to today. He said, you need to learn how to tap into your highest mind, or your Hugh's mind. I don't know who Hugh is, but tap into your highest mind and turn your thoughts into reality. And he says, you need to realize you have been born into the wrong direction in life. So crucial. Someone really get this. You've been born in the wrong direction in life. You have been taught that you need to fix, heal, or improve yourself to be successful, and you're wrong. And you're wrong. In fact, some of you have bought this book thinking it's going to fix you. Because we've all been born into this reality. However, that keeps us stuck. So here's how it looks. You have a self-conscious agenda that sees your current reality in life. CR stands for current reality. And it says, I'm going to go and create something, and we're going to change that unwanted experience. Can you give me some examples of this? I'm fat, I want to be slim. I'm broke, I want to be rich. I feel directionless and stuck in a job. I want purpose or freedom. See that? It goes, and if I have that, if I finally lose the weight, get my skin better, can focus better. When I do that, then my life will finally be able to get started. If I just had the money, then I could do it. If I just had the knowledge, then I would do it. If I was just skinnier, if I was just more beautiful, if I was just this, if I just understood that, if I just had this. Who gets it? There's a part of us that thinks that if we change, then we can get on with life. But then there's another part of us based in fear that doesn't want to change. It's figured out that it doesn't die from being broke. It doesn't die from being overweight. It doesn't die from being unhappy. And so it doesn't want to change. Who, can I just get another round of yeses in the chat? Whose experiences? A part of them wants to change their life, and then a part of them fears the change. It's kind of crazy, right? Like, part of you wants to go to the gym and have a healthy body. Another part of you doesn't want it. And so look at this. Put them both on one slide, and you can see exactly what I drew up on the board. There's a self-conscious agenda that wants to change and an unconscious agenda that wants to stay the same. One has an action to change, one not to change. And you and I, we sit there in the middle going, I want to change, I don't want to change. And I think it's some sort of big cosmic joke, because only someone having a real laugh would put into one brain a part of it that wants to change and do everything different, and the same brain give it a limbic system based in fear that doesn't want to change. I mean, that is a really cruel joke to play on a species, but that's what we're all experiencing. As we go towards what we want, a tension occurs to pull us back to the way it's always been. The closer that we get to what we want, the more tension there is to pull us back, and it pulls us back. And so this is how most people look. I'm going to go change my life. I've got a new course. I've got a new book. It's going to work out. Oh, God, I can't do a meditation every day. It doesn't even happen. I'm going to start a new diet. That's what it is. I'm going to eat only meat. I'm going to eat only meat. Oh my God, only meat? What were they thinking? That's crazy. That's stupid. I'm going to go alkaline. Yes, alkaline. That's what I need to do. I need to go the alkaline diet. Right, alkaline. I'm going to make my blood alkaline. Wait, you can't actually make blood alkaline. And if you did, you would die. That doesn't make any sense. Oh no, I'm going to stop doing that. I know what I need. The 5 and 2 cleansing. Eat 5 days, cleanse for 2 days. That's what I'm going to do. Yeah, but I'm going to have this one holiday and that's great. And who doesn't eat for 2 days? I mean, that's just nuts. I'm back here. I'm going to start a new business. I know what we need is we need a healing business. That's what I'm going to do. No one wants to spend money on healing. Oh my God, that's so hard. What was I thinking? I'm going to get into crypto. Yes, crypto. Let me go invest in crypto. Let's do crypto. That sounds amazing. What a good idea. Holy crap. Can you believe that there's actually someone who would scam me out of money? I better go do that. You know what I need to do? Going to become a yoga teacher. That's it. A yoga teacher, a doula, a life coach, magnetic mind coach, a therapist. Oh my God, every single one of these means I have to go out there and sell. I hate selling. That's so bad. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to flip houses. Fucking hell. We do this, right? Hey, can I get who agrees? We do this. And so your unconscious focus is causing you to be more stuck, right? You are teaching your consciousness. I'm sorry if there are any kids listening. The Freudian slip came out there, but apologize, kids. You know, I'll put $10 in your swear jar. Your unconscious focus is causing you to become more stuck. Okay, you're teaching your consciousness in every moment where the power is, and you're killing your creative power. So he says to me, you need a coach. He says there are 2 orientations. One orientation is what we've been talking about, okay, is that we're in a problem orientation where we think our job is to react or respond or to fix the way it is. Luckily for all of us, there is a creative orientation. And that's what this book is all about, okay, is where your choices are the driving force of your life, not your unconscious wound, okay? So that problem orientation we've all experienced. Can I ask, who's ready to give up the problem orientation? If you are, go get this book. The problem orientation limits your creative ability. Your motivation is to rid yourself of what you don't want. You're just trying to get away from New York, right? Get away rather than trying to get towards something, okay? The problem is the factor that organizes. So the solution is you must have a superconscious transformation. And so every superconscious creator, every person in this book, by the way, focuses on what they want rather than trying to fix themselves. They take action towards it in spite of any negative feelings, and they invent, intuit, and create new ways of doing things. So the creative orientation is not positive thinking. It's not problem solving. It's not adopting the right beliefs. It's not therapy, self-esteem, changing or fixing yourself. It's not a psychic trick to fool the world. It has one outcome, okay? That one outcome is to create what you desire. So instead of trying to get away from a certain place, you say, I would like to live in the Gold Coast of Australia. I would like to be in Thailand. I would like to be in Texas. I would like to be in Greece. And what you do is you say, this is what I would like. And so now, instead of the factor that organizes your reality being the thing you're trying to escape, not good, not worthy, not perfect, the factor that organizes your reality becomes what you want to create. You shift the power. And now the only thing that actually exists is what you want to create. And then your superconscious will find ways to make it happen. These are the 2 structures. One structure I've written up here on the board, which is where you have a psychological tension and you're trying to escape a wound. Lucky for all of us, there's a completely different way to orient your life. And this is, instead of having a current reality that's bouncing, trying to get away from a wound, and then another part of us trying to keep it to fall back, what we do is we can actually have a creative tension. DR stands for desired reality, and we can live in this structure here, where what we want to create is our focus. And we stop trying to fix this unconscious wound. We realize that we will feel not worthy here and not worthy here. We realize we can feel not enough here and here. We stop trying to change this. And what happens when you stop trying to change that you're not worthy and you just accept that there's parts of you that doesn't feel worthy of things, that there's a part of you that just doesn't feel perfect, and you stop trying to change it. You stop giving it the power. When you then go create without giving it the power, just going, hey, I might just feel not perfect, but have $1 million in the bank account. You stop. You learn to stop trying to change it and fix it. You stop playing this game. What happens is you then create a life that is full of evidence of how worthy and perfect and whole and loved you are. And so then you cannot deny it. But you don't try to fix it. Instead, you create a life you love. By creating a life you love, you feel good, you're inspired, you take action, and you live a completely new reality as a creator. And it just happens that as when you do that, when you live outside of this, you stop trying to fix this and you live this way, you get everything that you thought you wanted to get from self-help. If I had a mic, I could drop it right now. Because when I first heard this, it blew my mind. Because I'd spent so long trying to fix and heal and change. And so the Superconscious Creator Code is a 5-step system passed down to me. It's a combination of ancient wisdom, alchemy, neuroscience, and every single one of these authors have applied it. So as I said to you, it's none of these things. If you've been told to feel positive in order to get more money, if you've been told, you know, that you need to act a certain way, have willpower or motivation, if you've been told you need to overcome barriers, you need a therapy, you need to, I once got told it's never too late to have a happy childhood. You know, if you think you need to fix your past or problem solve, you actually have been lied to. It's none of that. When you apply the creative structure and you create a life you love, just stay with me on this. If you transform and create a life you love, wouldn't you feel positive? Give me a yes if you would. Like if you're loving your life, wouldn't that feel, if you create a life you love, rather than trying to feel happy, just notice the difference. There's a difference between I choose to create a life I love versus I'm choosing to try to be happy. If you create a life you love, don't you become happy? If you create a happy relationship and a healthy body, don't you get all the positive feelings? If you create a life you love, doesn't it look like you have willpower or motivation? If you create a life you love and you're truly loving your life, why the heck would you need therapy? Wouldn't it look like you problem solved? Isn't the answer right now that you create a life you love to become a creator of a life instead of trying to fix or heal? And if you just create a life you love with all the right people and the things and the money and the abundance and the purpose, it just looks like some weird psychic trick. But the truth is everything that others tell you need to be is the result of living the creative orientation. And so these are the 5 steps, okay? And you'll hear about it throughout the whole book. The first step is true choice. By definition, a true choice is what would you love to create for no other reason than you'd love to create it. And I talk about these steps in detail in all my work, including my book, You're Not Broken. The second step is a neuro-emotional visualization. You imagine that end result being true now. You teach your unconscious how it's going to be when you have that. You create structural tension. You notice what it's like in the now. You receive intuitive action about what you must do to create your end result, and then you recode and let go of any resistance. those are the 5 steps. And so I'm going to do a little exercise with you now that I think is really important. So how does all that land? How does all that land? I'm so proud of this book. I'm so proud of all the authors. I'm proud of all of you, and I'm proud of sharing this work. So I hope that you all get this and realize that the self-help loop, trying to be a certain way to fix a way that you feel incomplete, is a premise that the whole world operates from. Religion operates from it. You're born into sin. If you can be a certain way, in the next life you get to go to heaven. If you're not a certain way, you go to hell. Life is a struggle. Life is sacrifice. But if you figure out how to ascend above sacrifice, you don't have to incarnate again. Same story again. You're born wrong. If you be a certain way, you'll get everything later. And so this paradigm has got us to here. This paradigm has got humanity to where we are. And we've done a pretty good job. But we're being called to step into a completely new orientation. I mean, I don't know about you, but I'm spending most of my time teaching AI how to be way smarter than me. And it wasn't very difficult because I figured out I'm not that smart. And we are very quickly, if not already, have the ability to create whatever we want, and expertise is completely democratized, and it's mind-bendingly awesome. And we've got to realize that we get to be creators, and we get to create a new world. And there's this Buckminster Fuller quote, and he wrote it, in the 80s. I believe it was maybe it was even in the 60s in his book, and he says, humans are going to meet their final exam. Humans are going to meet their final exam. Whether we pass that exam is going to be up to all of us. Whether we'll use our technology to create a harmonious world for all beings and humans and consciousness, and we'll pass the exam, or we'll use it to fail. We'll fail and we won't use that technology to create an amazing future. And we'll fail because we'll be in the wound saying, oh, I don't feel safe, so give me this land. Or I don't feel this, give me that, and we'll live here. And so we have an unconscious wound, we have a self-conscious ego, and then we have a superconscious creator. Self-conscious ego, unconscious wound, superconscious creation. And so most of the world has an unconscious wound that they're using their ego to avoid. They're using their ego to avoid, to escape, and they're looping back. And you see it right now. You see it in politics, you see it in crises, you see it everywhere. They are looping here. And over here is the superconscious, which works outside of that structure. And it starts with one thing. I'm going to give you the exercise of where it all starts. Who would like to have a true superconscious transformation? And who would really like to truly start life over again right now, only taking the good? Because that's what we need to do as a total, complete species. We need to stop problem solving, trying to fix the past. We need to stop having the war on terror, the war on peace, the war on drugs, the war on gender. I think it's crazy to say, well, borders don't exist, but these people, this and that. We need to start realizing that there's lots of good, and we need to do this one exercise. So I'll take you through it. I'll take you through it if you want to be a part of passing the final exam, because a lot of people think, well, what can I do to be part of the final exam? Well, there's one thing you can do to make sure you're not part of it, and that is live in this wound and do nothing. So there's a sure way to ensure that you're not part of us passing the final exam, to see if we can finally use technology to live harmonious. Is it true? There's one sure way to ensure you're on this side of the story. And it's easy, and most people will stay there. So here's a little exercise. I want you to close your eyes and just imagine right now you have no past. Just imagine you have no past. Just imagine your past is washed away. You close the door to your past. You hang a mirror that only shines to the future. Just imagine that you have no past. And just open your eyes and come back and let me know, how did it feel to have no past? What's it like to have no past? Okay. I want you to think of a personal dilemma. Do you think of a personal dilemma? Let me think of a personal dilemma. Something, oh God, I'm not making enough sales. God, can't stop eating that wrong food. Whatever it is, a personal dilemma. So now just think of a personal dilemma and just close your eyes. And again, just imagine you have no past. Just imagine you have no past. Again, put that mirror up that only reflects the future. Let the past just wash away like footprints in the sand, waves just washing it away. You have no past. Just imagine you have no past. And as you imagine you have no past, how do you relate now to the dilemma? And then come back and let me know. How do you relate to it? Yeah. Everyone always tells me that when they do this, the dilemma just seems functional. Well, I've just got to deal with it. It doesn't have everything else with it. Just got to get it done. I don't have meaning. So then the last piece of this process, I want you to think of your biggest dream. I want you to think of a big dream, just or even a small one, actually. Just want you to think of something that you'd love to create that you haven't created yet. Just want you to think of what you want to create. Maybe that creation is a solution to the dilemma. I don't know. Now close your eyes and again, imagine you have no past. No past. Draw a circle around yourself. Imagine that this is a place of no past. Hang a mirror on the past, shine it, reflect the future only. And let it all wash away. Let the past wash away. Just imagine you have no past. From this place, how do you relate to that goal or dream or choice? What's different? With no past, what's changed? And just come back and type in the chat box. Let me know what changed. What's different? And so what you'll notice is that the past creates meaning of what something means. The past says, oh, well, the current reality, this dilemma or this dream, this is how it's going to mean it's this hard or it's this or it's that, right? But when we just say we have no past, then the truth is just the truth and we just deal with it. The past is what brings all the baggage and the resistance. And so, does that make sense? And so what we do when we have a superconscious transformation is we allow ourselves to let go of the past that's holding us back. Focus on what we want to create and manifest it with precision. And that's what this book is about. This book is the answer to unlocking your godlike manifesting power and to finally create a life that doesn't need saving, doesn't need help, doesn't need improvement, doesn't need fixing, to truly step to your superconscious level and assimilate to this idea that you have godlike creative ability and you've just been born into the wrong direction. You've just been born into the direction of trying to be a certain way to fit into society and avoid a certain wound. And I got stuck in this trap. You can waste a lot of time. People can waste a lifetime in this trap. They need to release it and refocus. So that's what we teach at Conscious Education. And that's what every single one of these amazing authors have gone through, have assimilated into their life, and they share their story and how it's worked for them. And so if you would love to join us in Superconscious Transformation, go get the book, go reach out to these authors, join our movement, share this out, please. We still want to get to the #1. We're on the top 10 bestseller. Last I heard, we're at #8. I haven't had an update since then, so I'm sure we're rocketing up the charts, but really appreciate all your help in doing that. We've put it as cheap as we possibly could to get this message out. It's a phenomenal movement. The authors here are amazing. And I just want to thank you all in advance. So please read it. Please share what you love about the book, you know, and thanks. Thanks. Yeah. So with that being said, that was everything that I had prepared for you today. And I hope that that really helps you to take that one thing with you. So today I want you just to act as though you have no past. Focus on what you want to manifest and take the action. Read the book. Let us know how you go. Share the link out to your friends. We'll keep it up at $2 for a couple more days, or maybe we're only allowed to do it for a day. I don't know how long we're allowed to do it actually. But share it out. There are people out there that need it. Buy them a copy as well. Buy everyone a copy. They all need to read this book. And you know, if nothing else, if just one of the stories in this book touches that person, then that's a great thing, isn't it? Yeah. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And again, all my authors on here. I can see Ross is on here. I saw that Prajitha was here. Master Boone is here. You guys are amazing. And any other authors that I've missed, appreciate you a lot. Have a great day, everybody. That's it from me. Go grab the book. Support this amazing movement. Congratulations, authors. We're out there. You're now published co-author with myself in this amazing book. And that's a big deal. Bye, everybody. Bye.